I'll just go through the US dollar index, and there is a little bit to talk about as well with that. And I'll bring up the chart to start us off here, thanks to Forex Trading Asia. So we've got, it did extend further on the 1 hour chart I've got here. We did have a breakout, and we went through that range that had been forming where the highs were around, just below 93.50. We did break out of that as well. We've had a nice little run, and we got to 93.80, and we are starting to pull back a little bit now. And I've just got this vertical line on the chart just to show that things are coinciding with a potential pullback. In regards to where that pullback is going to sort of head down to, we've got obviously this support level down here, in the realm of the 93.50s. But we have seen another thing to consider as well, with the equity markets having another red day last night in the S&P 500, NASDAQ as well, especially, which represents those high growth factor stocks. So that just means if there's any, smell of, oh, things are going to start getting tightened up with, obviously interest rates, but not for the foreseeable future. But that small little indication, especially with Jerome Powell testifying last night, it just sort of put the brakes on things, especially with equities that have been previously bought up when they do dip down a little bit. But we saw that again, and we're also seeing that now in the Australian equity session too. So we did have some nice opportunities in the Traders Club that was discussed last night as well in the chat. It was very active. So thanks for everyone for contributing. And in regards to, the US dollar specifically, I'll just get a little bit of a line here to illustrate what I'm looking for. If we do just tread down a little bit, I would like to see that, but we might not really. It might just sort of hold just below this resistance level, simply because we are still seeing that equity sell-off situation, which is just indicative of a risk-off sentiment. So, now I wouldn't be saying, let's just, go long. I'd want to wait and see what happens tonight. And I'll just bring up the economic calendar now. So this will give us a bit of an insight into what is going on. So we've got the economic calendar, thanks to Forex Trading Asia here. So we did have, frankly, the big thing that was on last night was Jerome Powell was testifying about the situation with US Congress as well. There were a few things to bring up with the debt ceiling, and Janet Yellen discussed that as well. And she also made some comments about how significant it was if they go past, I believe it's October 16th. So if they don't work out the debt ceiling and there's a government shutdown, that could really have some detrimental issues for the US. And someone did in the chat ask about that. And I would say, if that does happen with the debt ceiling, we're going to see markets again sell off, and that, what that should see is gold actually rise. But, who knows? For now, it's not been behaving really accordingly to the situation. So caution needs to be shown here, guys. We've got a lot of movements that happen on the pound as well. And we do actually have the pound in focus for today's call with Jin. So I would say that's definitely something to pay attention to, because there are some possibilities out there, just given how far extended it was to, we were discussing that before the call started. So going over to that now.